as you guys can see, this knife is actually very surprisingly slicey. I mentioned it earlier, but I think this Vicon is actually more slicey. Sorry, I'm sweating miserably out here. I think this Vicon is actually more slicey than both the F6 and the F5 that I've shown on this channel. This thing just glides right through that wood. The handle ergonomics is actually absolutely perfect. I love these handle ergonomics. This is the G10 version, and generally I like micarta better. However, I'm perfectly happy with these G10. They have a lot of texture on them. They're not like overly textured, and so my hand don't want to like slide off or anything like that. So guys, this knife is just honestly so perfect. This year has been a great year for knives for me, honestly. It's actually, I've had some of my favorite knives come out this year, and or knives that I've just reviewed this year has all just been great. And I'm a big fan of like the kind of combat utility knives. They're honestly some of my favorite knives. It's just that genre of knives, and this Vicon is just really awesome. Now, it does have a deep guard on there for the little combatives portion. We'll talk about that a little bit more. However, I personally find that I like a deep guard like that, even for like bushcrafting and slicing and stuff. And it's just because like that guard lets you know exactly where the edge is, and so you can just use the guard to kind of guide yourself. And I personally like that for a combative type of scenario. That's actually a really good thing. But even just for, you know, whittling and slicing and stuff like that, I find it's pretty nice. I think some knives, sometimes they try to achieve ergonomics so well that it almost just feels like you're handling like a broom handle. And so your edge can just kind of not really index that well. But man, this knife is just such a fun knife to use. Man, I'm very impressed with this knife. I like a lot of knives, guys, but honestly, this is probably one of my favorite knives I've used thus far this year. It's just a fun knife to use.